Hey guys, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse. Today's video is going to be the Booktube Real Talk tag, and I was tagged by Shelby from Shelby Taggart Reads, and I am excited to be doing this one. So I always get excited when I get tagged by somebody else, so thank you, Shelby. And this is been going around for a while, but you guys know I love me a tag video. So it was an original tag by Alyssa J. Books with Alyssa J. So I will include her video down below. I'll include Shelby's channel down below. Like I said, this has been going around for a while, so I'm sure you've seen a lot of booktubers do it at this stage of the game, but I am happy to weigh in with some of my answers as well. Okay, first question is, what's something nobody told you about Booktube before you started your channel? So I will be honest, I didn't talk to anybody before I started my channel, so no one told me anything because I never asked anybody about it. But I will say, you know, I had no concept of how much went into being on Booktube, being on YouTube, creating videos, how long it took to film, edit, kind of all of it. Like I sort of like naively in my head just was like, oh, you just like sit down with a camera and shoot some stuff and then put it up and you're good to go. So I had no concept of how much time and effort and energy went into creating videos, and there's a part of me that thinks that's probably good, because if I knew, I might have been even more intimidated and not done it. I was already intimidated enough putting myself out there and doing it, and I think if I had any idea of how much hard work goes into it, I might have scared myself off from it even more and maybe not done it at all. Second question is, what is your opinion on typical Booktube videos like wrap-ups, TBRs, hauls, etc.? So I am someone who's a fan of those things, and if you follow my channel, you know those are all things that I do, minus the TBRs unless it's a readathon. So to me, it's like, it's the cornerstone of so many people's channels, and it's a cornerstone of what I'm interested in. It's a cornerstone of what I'm interested in. It's something I'm interested in. I like watching people's book hauls. It is like, I like watching people's unhauls. There is some satisfaction I get out of watching other people unhaul books, out of watching people haul books. Sometimes I am getting ideas for books that I want to read. If it's booktubers that I follow consistently, I'm always curious sort of what they're bringing in and what's on their radar and what they're interested in, because a lot of times our tastes cross, so I get a lot of good ideas through that. I just like watching wrap-ups. That was the other one. I like watching wrap-ups. I mean, I do them. I feel like it's an important part of the content. I like hearing people's reviews. I like hearing spoiler-free reviews a lot of the time. If it's a book that I'm interested in, I certainly don't want any spoilers on it, but if it's a booktuber whose opinion I value and someone I follow, their wrap-up means a lot to me. And if it's a book I've already read, I'm totally down for spoilers because I like hearing what other people have to say about books I've already read. But I like knowing what people were reading, and for me, it's one of the easiest ways to not just create content, but to have valuable content so people know what I'm reading, what my opinions are. I think people are pretty universal on the fact that like standalone book reviews it's not about the views per se, but like they're not as interesting to people, so they don't get as much review or don't get as many views. But I feel like the wrap-ups people have more interest in because they do want to see what it is you're reading, and maybe in smaller nuggets. So it's not about the views per se when I say it that way, but like, does anyone want to watch like 9 individual videos of the 9 books I read this month? Probably not, but I feel like if you do a 1 or 2 part wrap-up, that's interesting. So I'm a fan. I am a fan of all the basic stuff. I would love to have the creativity level of Kayla of Books and Lala and so many other booktubers that are out there. I'm not quite there yet, not anywhere near there yet, let's be honest. But I think, you know, sort of these typical videos are just core content for a lot of us. The third question is, what is an assumption you had about Booktube before you joined? Was it proven to be correct or not? I feel like one of the assumptions I had was like, these folks read a ton, and they either like don't do anything else because they read so many books. They are able to read at like such a fast speed that I can't even comprehend. And I think just sort of like the volume of books was something where I was like, wow, you need to like read a lot. And I also felt like you needed to read a lot of like what was popular, bestseller type of stuff, so you could talk about stuff that a lot of people would know about and talk about books a lot of people would know about. And early on, when I was first kind of going down the Booktube rabbit hole, I was finding a lot of booktubers who were really YA readers, fantasy readers, sort of sci-fi readers, things that I was not. So I kind of felt like I'm never going to find an audience for me, and I'm never going to find people that I wholly connect with, because those are not things that I read much, if any. So I would say I was wrong about that. I definitely think there is a huge population of people who are YA, sci-fi, fantasy readers, which more power to you, great for you, amazing. I am not one of those people. I have also found there's a lot of people who are in my age range, generationally, read books I like to read. I don't align across the board with everyone, but there's a lot of people we read similar thrillers, we have similar tastes. You don't have to read all the bestsellers, you don't have to read all the new releases. I love seeing backlist, I love seeing new authors, I love hearing about books that have been out for years that people are reading, because that's some of what I do. So a lot of those myths were busted. But yeah, people do read a lot, and that is true. People read a ton of books, and you have to read a lot of books to have a lot to talk about. So I do think my reading game has been upped since I've been on Booktube, which is great. I do feel an element of pressure every once in a while to be reading more, but I'm trying to not put that pressure on myself, because that's not fun for anybody. Question number 4 is, what is something you've done that has actually helped to grow your audience? So I think anything that I've done has been completely organic and natural for me. I have, followed channels of people that I enjoy. I comment on videos, I like videos, I connect with other booktubers, I connect with subscribers, I connect with people in other people's comments. So I think like having conversations and really engaging in the community has been a big part of it. And same on Instagram, connecting with people on Instagram, following people, commenting. I am not always great at timely responses to things, which I need to be better about. I am not always consistent in my Instagram posting, which I need to be better about. But as I slowly, I've only been on Booktube since last November, so it's not quite a year. I think finding my way in the community, getting to know people, getting to be friends with people, really connecting with people about books has been just sort of a very organic way to get people to my channel. And I have been very fortunate to have Krista from Books and Jams call me out in a video, April from Getting Hooga With It, and Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures. So in huge part, thanks to those 3 ladies, I definitely have had people find my channel through them. And I think it's just sort of a big part of it. And I think, getting better at understanding how Booktube works with like utilizing the tags, same thing in Instagram, utilizing tags. I think doing the readathons has helped. I think people search for that content, other people who are looking for TBRs, and that's a great way to find you. And then I think just sort of naturally, if people are out there looking for book hauls and they stumble upon my book haul, great. If I do a standalone video about a book review and people find it, that's a way for people to find me. So I think everything I've done has been completely organic for me. It has felt right to me. I'm kind of feeling my way. So I'm not doing anything, like I'm certainly not creating controversial videos just to get some views or saying crazy things to get people to my channel, or creating like clickbaity type of titles for my videos or anything like that. I'm just sort of doing what I do and being very fortunate and grateful to have as many people find me and follow me as I do. Question number 5 is, what is a common mistake you see new booktubers making, or one that you made? So I don't know, who am I to say what mistakes anybody is making? I don't really know that that's a thing. I think mistakes that I have made using my amazing 9-month hindsight, or 10-month hindsight that it's been. I think I need to plan better and be more strategic about my filming, my editing schedule, my uploading schedule. I tend to wing a lot of things, which doesn't always work out well because it either can lead to time wasted. I have definitely trashed a bunch of videos in my time. And then being strategic about editing and posting. I also, literally the other day, I was editing a video and there was another video like in my iMovie and I was like, oh, I don't remember this. And I clicked on it and it was like half edited. And that was it. And like, I never went back to it. And it's lost footage now because it was something I had filmed back in June that was was not important back in June, but it's like the time has passed. Like the video content is no good anymore. So whether it is my lighting was bad or my content was bad or something else, I have definitely just wasted time filming some videos. So that's definitely a mistake that I've made. So I think being strategic, I need to look ahead. I need to plot things out on a calendar. I need to plot my content before I sit down to film, because otherwise I will just squander away the time. And that's just not helpful because time is precious. I only have so much time to film. So being more strategic. And then I think, you know, part of the kinks out of the gate are figuring out lighting, figuring out all that stuff. It's not about buying a ring light and having the most perfect camera, but sort of like making the best of what you have. So definitely some of my earlier videos are dark. I didn't quite know like how to do a setup. So I think some of those are just like growing pains that everybody has to live through. And then, I don't know, other mistakes. I mean, I feel like I said, like be better about responding to people quicker, keeping the content timely. And then it's just really creating the content. So that's not really a mistake, but that's something that I definitely want to get better at because, again, winging my content is not good for anyone. Question number 6. What are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorships? So I think it's great. I think if you are one of those people who was lucky enough to have publishers and authors and whomever send you books and send you arcs or send you promos, like that's amazing. Like I hope to someday and be that kind of a position. I definitely get a little bit of jealousy when I see people open up boxes where they get, you know, like the turn of the key before it comes out with, you know, fun things that go along with it. And it's not even so much about the fun things, but to be on a distribution list where you're getting books before they come out and you are on the radar of publishers and editors and they know that your opinion and your voice carries weight and has value. To me, like that's what so much of that means, and that to me would be such a great feeling. So I think as long as you are transparent about it and telling us, you know, you got it for free, you got it through a publisher, you're getting paid to show something, I'm fine with it in that sense. And then also, I think it needs to be authentic in the sense that like, if you're doing a sponsorship for something, it should be something you would have done anyway. You would have bought the product yourself. You would have used the product anyway. Like I don't want to watch anyone's channel, whether it's like Booktube or like beauty YouTube, and I'm a big like beauty tube follower. I don't want to feel like every video is an advertisement, and I don't want to feel like videos are people peddling things that, like I said, they normally wouldn't use, purchase, have anyway if they could afford it. There was a period where a lot of like the beauty booktuber or beauty YouTubers that I was following, it felt like every single video was an advertisement for a certain brand or brushes, or like literally there were times where like every beauty tuber was doing a video on the exact same product, so you knew that they were all just getting it sent to them. And it was like, one of them was like this neck cream, like the tech neck cream, and it was like, okay, I get it, like brand X whatever is sending all of these people the same products and they're all telling me how great it is. Like I don't want to feel so inundated and saturated in that kind of content. So as long as people are transparent about it, and again, as long as it's authentic to the person I'm following and it feels authentic and genuine to me, I'm totally down with it. More power to you. Again, totally envy the people who are on the radar because their voice and their content matters. I think it's great. So keep doing your thing. You know, keep on keeping on. Question number 7 is, do you think Booktube is dying? Like, I sure hope not. I'm kind of still new. I don't want it to die. I don't think it is. I think there are more and more people watching. I think there's more and more people creating amazing content. I feel like views are going up. I mean, books aren't going anywhere. I mean, Barnes & Noble getting purchased. I hope they can turn Barnes & Noble around and turn it into what Waterstones has been turned back into. There's a Barnes & Noble near me. I love it. I would be so sad if it went away. I am frustrated with some limitations on bookstores. I know you can get things online, and I love the online experience as well. But, you know, there's audiobooks, there's ebooks. I think the world is changing when it comes to books, but I think the fact that people are reading books is not changing. People are always going to read however they're consuming that content, whether it's a hard book, like I say, an ebook, an audiobook, whatever it is. I don't think that's changing. And people want to hear book reviews. People want to hear what, you know, people are reading and get recommendations. And I don't think it's going anywhere. And I feel like it keeps growing in the sense that like content is getting more innovative and interesting. I long for the day when I can be interesting and innovative with my content. But I love it. I don't think it's going anywhere. And I'm gonna, you know, do my damnedest to continue to support it. And I think Instagram helps, Bookstagram helps. You know, coming off my conference in July at Thriller Fest, like hundreds and hundreds of people were at that event. It's going nowhere. So people are going to continue to want to read. People want to read great stories. People want to hear great stories. And there are so many writers in the world that want to tell great stories. So I don't think it's going anywhere. So of course, the last question is always to tag a friend. And like I said, this has been going on for a while. So I'm going to tag everybody who's watching this. So if you haven't done this tag and you want to, go for it. Thank you again, Shelby, for tagging me. Love it. But this was fun. I like these kind of videos that also just talk about the world of books and talk about the world that we all live in and love and want to be a part of. So thank you guys for watching and listening. If you have any opinions on any of these questions, feel free to write that all down below too, because I would like to know what you think. Please tell me you don't think Booktube is dying anytime soon. But like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I will be back with some more, and I hope that you will be back to join me. So I will see you in the next one, everybody. Bye.